This is caused by protozoan parasite malaria in hinta. Hey, malaria penka, it is caused by the parasite Plasmodium. A life cycle, Plasmodium life cycle lay in hinta. Tuna a second na dingina. Second disease which is caused by protozoan parasite ending a second disease ayale. I mean amoebiasis. Hey penka, I mean amoebiasis leke chidinga. Why bana amoebic dysentery leke chidinga. Amoebic dysentery leke chidinga. Yay. Amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery penka, it is caused by a protozoan parasite. A protozoan parasite mina hiale Entamoeba histolytica. Ina causa here. Amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery penka, it is caused by the parasite Entamoeba histolytica here. Here histo ichi changina. Histo means tissue china here. Lytica ichi changina, it means destruction. Ma destruction china here. Enta ichi changina enteric intestine namgena here. Moeba ichi changina, it is a protozoan organisms mina here. Amoeba ichi tema. That means this disease will affect koi laka affect di jiale since enter intestine ahi zakana, it will infect the large intestines of humans. Hey agan hin penka a parasite a organisms penka, it will enter through the mouth ikama patahung engine, then it will go to the stomach and to the large intestine. Large intestines abangon idiale. Large intestines are tissues on deha destroyed damaged. Then a symptoms de banga hidiale. The symptoms would be, first symptoms is constipation. Ek thathailo chi de hongong demo. Why bana abdominal pain. Abdominal pain or cramps. Gilna taina chi demo on the bana is stools with mucus and blood. Amoebic dysentery it will be mixed with mucus. Mucus is plus mucus liam denjun wai bana blood tin le zui duma ek lak wa kha is san le om de wai bana nap dan de wa om de ma hai te pen kha, it is the symptoms of amoebic dysentery. Diarrhea to I confuse lo dimo. Diarrhea ichi chani na atwa ma ya diarrhea pen kha. Diarrhea penka, it is loose motion, watery motion, watery stool. Loose motions or stool would be watery. Stool te penka, it will not be mixed with mucus or blood. It will just be watery. And next, transmission si in ending hey na penka mi khatal pa na mi khatabang chidana ki transmit ka chi ending hey it. The first thing is we need to understand the carrier. Houseflies. Malaria pena entaleng. Malaria pena organisms a Plasmodium a parasite penka, it is carried by the female Anopheles mosquito. Female Anopheles mosquitoes in carry engine. Amoebic dysentery penaka, the transmitting agent itidama anatnap a parasite entamoebic histolytica potopenka, it is housefly. That means housefly is the carrier. Achale bang chidana ngomai chale tun bang infected person ya pa bang infected person hitale ya pa kha infected person ya ina aphesis te pen kha aphesis or fecal matter chidiama he fecal matter te pen kha I munkhat pe wadai hondai ling le bang e kon thale bang ai te bang this is to ha housefly te pen kha ai te ba pai din chen but to the way we mala ba pai din chen pa so akinaya muntuama mi khatin bang nekti vegetables yam anhyam food yam bang singzu yam bang yam khat ko italema nekti ahi lawale tui bangom tale yai athote pen kha ya apapai wale yai ante pen kha tunya healthy person yai pen kha healthy person jini yai penin yai ante pen kha nele then the disease would be transmitted to him ya healthy person pen le you'll get infected with this disease no. So this is the mode of transmissions. That means hitting kahon kelbinga housefly are the mechanical carriers when this housefly sit on the feces of infected person the housefly will transmit the parasite or the pathogens organisms housefly parasite they will transmit it to food or food particles as well as water. They become contaminated. Contaminated it is already contaminated with microbes with I discuss amoebic dysentery. It is now contaminated with entamoebic histolica. Disease tangbang hile. This is a parasite or organisms, microbes. The food and the waters becomes contaminated. When this contaminated food and water midangkat a healthy person in our consume a healthy person he or she becomes infected with this disease. We need to have proper sanitation. Toilet toilet dialing proper toilet because diseases can be transmitted through fecal matters, through feces, by housefly, by different types of organisms. Proper sanitation disease spread long na. This is caused by Helminth first disease ascariasis ascariasis bangin kosa it is caused by the Helminth ascaris ascaris a common name roundworm roundworm or ascariasis dimorphic dimorphic it will have separate female individuals female individuals female individuals male individuals they only more banchidana taken the chale hai te kha e bawin ken thiren hut ichi te hong idimo e hut te pen kha female le ominjin male le female te pen kha they are longer male te pen kha they are shorter why bana among pen kha ichaki coil de ichaki coil to de hai te pen kha male individuals hai te pen kha female individuals. Ascaris they will infect the intestine. They will be found in the intestine and they will infect the intestines of humans or of animals. Animals can symptoms the symptoms is since it will infect or it will destroy the intestine. It will start infecting or damaging the intestine, so there will be internal bleeding on the engine, why bana muscular pain on the engine, why bana there will be fever also, and there will be anemia. Hey lung te penin kha hey worm te hut te penin kha I intestine on the engine I annek te teng kha I digestion sa enleuchen bang annek te pen kha it first goes to the stomach, then to the small intestine small intestine with the help of villi they start absorbing the food that we eat small intestine I annek te warm round warm te penin I annek te amau anande baby then we will be suffering from anemia also symptoms why bana let's say this is our intestine by lung te pen kha I omde zaka he hutte omde zaka so honki multiply leoha it will leads to blockage of the intestinal passage ya intestine te pen kha lungten hon block leoma. So those are the symptoms of ascariasis. And next are transmissions ending a hey hutte pen kha bangchidana isunga honom theya hi lawale bangchidana ki from one person to another person aki transfer theya ki transmit theya jiale hey penle I dena yet sama abanga amoebiasis ayet sama abanga. This is also through feces of infected persons or fecal matter akipat mo tun ha infected person te penin kha I mun khata hon dailing taleo mun khata I toilet lo chini khata hon dailing taleo he a dailing te pen wa kha a fecal matter te wa kha bang om dia jiale they will contain eggs of the parasite. Here I egg waha eggs of ascariasis on the engine. Why they pen ha soil lay lakyam so ahi lawale tui water lakyam ahi lawale I plants lakyam abang daile ahi wale hey eggs they pen ha they eggs te na he a soil te a water te a plants te hon contaminate the engine tun bang healthy person khatha midang khatom yai healthy person penin bang he a plants pen kha hon ne kha hi lole atui pen hon don kha a hi lole ya soil laka ba pai kha bang hile then soil la kha I plants bo te bang ne kha hi tabang le this healthy person will get eggs te pen ani kha kale then he will get infected because of eating consuming contaminated food or water. The healthy person will get infected. So this is how this disease is transmitted from infected person to healthy person. Hey de pen khatun bang hey pen bang infected person hi lo lan normal person nothing will happen. But if this person is an infected person and he is munkhat pewa dailing mo proper sanitations ne lo munkhat pewa dailing bang hiale ekin asukha ngate kha plants hina tui hina soil itale bang pe nek thilti ama to kha why healthy person ten bani kha bang hile ya healthy person ten le he'll get the disease. Next, this is caused by Helminth and non-ding hiale. First, naka ascariasis and hinta tuna ani naka yet ding hiale, and naminha elephantiasis akichia. Elephantiasis, waibana amindanga hiale, filariasis lekichidima amindia hachamti leogen. Elephantiasis lekichidi engine, filariasis lekichidi. Yai elephantiasis lawale filariasis it is caused by Helminth's name caused by aminha Wuchereria ma. Wuchereria penha two species only nga Wuchereria bancroftic. Wuchereria penka species ni omdinga Wuchereria bancrofti pento Wuchereria malayi Heitigel penka species aya aminti hoi devin chamte deogen hai Wuchereria pen a common name bangai jiale a common name hiale filarial worm legitima. A common name engine, a scientific name penha Wuchereria engine. Wuchereria can be of two types of species, Wuchereria bancrofti and Wuchereria malayi. Hey amintiha chamti legend. Hey na bang hey worm te penina human sabangon GDI giale a transmission sia kohon gen naldinga a transmissions kahon gen naldinga a transmission sa yade yai species te pen kha yai worm yai filarial worm te pen kha they will infect the lymphatic vessels. ya worm te penin kha lymphatic vessels hon infect ding unjen atang pia kha they infect the lymphatic vessels of our lower limbs. And they will start developing chronic inflammations. Chronic inflammations, chronic chronic diseases that last for a long period of time. Acute disease acute disease those diseases that last for a short period of time. Like examples would be like common cold. Common cold acute disease chronic disease chronic that lasts for a long period of time. It can even last for a lifetime. Like cancer elephantiasis they are chronic diseases. If you're infected with this worms, what will happen to you? Lower limbs infection suppose this is your lymphatic vessels. Na lymphatic vessels fluid te pen kha ki transfer ililia tuna ya na lymphatic vessels hai laktinga kha ya worm te pen kha homom tale ya filarial worm te homom tale they will start multiplying tun bang abul tungan khong chom ililia they will start multiplying and tamatang hom denjin wan so he lakon ki block te be he lakon ki block changa fluid transmission somom thailom denjin why fluid te pen kha they will start accumulating fluid tamatang homom denjin hai hom ki accumulate janga here bang hi ale here analian dima tun bang Google honga indulgent elephantiasis te pen kha a picture image tam piam dinga tun bang na here omile hai pen kha it will lead to swelling, abnormal swelling of the body parts. It is a chronic inflammations here. Lymphatic vessels are especially usually in the lower limbs. What will happen is that it will lead to abnormal swelling or enlargement of the body part. Enlargement it is a kind of disability. Disability katong hidinjin bana social stigma mila katel normally mean ensano chin maini a textbook apena image kahan social dinga elephantiasis te pen kha ijema to a lower limbs pena kha a disease ongoma hi jaka he pen kha normal le ka ya he pen kha anat nalam mai chi jam lian de achale how does this filarial worm transmit from one person to another person? Bangchida na hay nat napin kha mi khata ki patami dang khata hom thia ichale. The transmissions ya kagela. Transmissions is through infected female mosquitoes. Hey, female mosquitoes pen kha amin kha Culex na. Malaria penle it is transmitted through infected female mosquitoes. Malaria apen a mosquito means Anopheles ahia. To elephantiasis penakha a mosquitoes female mosquitoes mean Culex kiji amin te penha chen. Next this is caused by fungi. This is ringworms. Ringworms it is the most common infectious disease which is caused by fungi. A common pain fungi in cause ringworms common a symptoms ringworms it will be dry. Haibana scaly lesions is the infected area. It can be on the skin nails Haibana is called example symptoms it is accompanied by intense itching. Infected area fungi occurs to like microsporum. Microsporum, Haibana, trichophyton trichophyton peninha, it will infect the hair. Haibana, epidermophyton te peninha, it will infect the skin. Trichopenha hair. So these are some of the fungi which cause the disease ringworms. Symptoms dry scaly lesions on the skin, nails, and scalp. It is accompanied by intense itching. How does it transmit from one person to another person? This ringworms can be also acquired from the soil like by using towels, clothes, comb of an infected person. Hair ringworms infected person you can also be infected. You can also get the disease. Infectious disease infectious disease those diseases that can be transmitted from one person to another person. Here we talk about typhoid cholera so cholera is also an infectious disease. Ascariasis filariasis malaria infectious disease here. So how to prevent infectious disease. Personal hygiene personal hygiene as well as public hygiene is very important for controlling and preventing many infectious diseases. Personal hygiene, public hygiene personal hygiene keeping our body clean. Isapum pienha hi siam tho ni tenga kisili ye chi te ma taking part regularly eating healthy food te bang de healthy a healthy lo ma food te pienha a healthy te ni de or balanced diet ni de ma tui idon te pienha drinking water should be clean. Nails it will come under personal hygiene. Public hygiene is by proper disposal of waste material. Waste as well as excreta. Disposed there should be periodic cleaning and disinfections of water. We don't depend disinfected by treating with some kinds of chemicals like chlorine to kill the germs, the bacteria which is present in the water. Ponds in kim the kyanga ponds de bang in yale tanks in yale a periodic jangina hunne yama khat basil bang khat basil bang clean zel de disinfections chemicals treatment bowl zel de it will come under public hygiene, and personal hygiene it will come under personal hygiene. So personal hygiene and public hygiene are very important for controlling all the diseases that we have discussed before. These measures are essential when the diseases are transmitted through food and water. Yeah, measures again public hygiene and public hygiene again they are very important, they are very crucial when the disease is transmitted from or through contaminated food and water. Tun bang I cholera, typhoid ichite pen bang chidana healthy person in hon acquire they acquire through eating contaminated food and water. Malay I discuss in ta so hujidan na te pena ya public hygiene ichite personal hygiene ichite hon poi mo dima. Why bana examples of diseases that can be transmitted through eating contaminated food and waters are like typhoid, cholera, amoebiasis, amoebic dysentery through food and water here, ascariasis. It is through eating contaminated food and water. Actually, disease it is transmitted through water or food here. Now, if we are talking about airborne diseases, airborne disease those diseases that can be transmitted through air. We in addition to all the personal hygiene and public hygiene that we have already discussed. We should avoid close contact with infected person. Tun bang mi khat mang common cold ve chi the ale hi lo la tu la ya ke thang ma COVID-19 chi te ma hai bana pneumonia chi te hai te pen kha mi khatin bang ave ya le wai ave tu pen kha to close contact lo a kinai lo a va lo de ma close contact with infected persons should be avoided. Why bana avante leva ki copy lo dimo their belongings as well as their belongings. Belongings ichichanina avante ma utensils tele ite anowa kwang chite why bana clothes tele ite why bana pen pencil azate ma school na pang te bang hiale pen pencils chite aite pen kha baki copy lo dima because aite through ale anat na pen kha la the exaka. So all these things in addition to the personal and public hygiene that we discussed, in addition to this airborne disease te pen kha close contact with infected persons as well as their belongings should be avoided. Examples of airborne diseases are like common cold, pneumonia, COVID-19 and they are airborne diseases. And next up, disease transmitted through vector. This is transmitted through vectors. This is transmitted through vectors. Diseases that can be transmitted through vectors are like malaria. We discussed malaria, filariasis. It is transmitted through vectors. Malaria vectors female mosquitoes Anopheles female mosquitoes. Filariasis penale female mosquitoes but malaria penaka Anopheles hingen a mosquito species penka filariasis pena a mosquito female mosquitoes penka culex ma injen achale yai nate malaria filariasis te penka ahi lawale hai nate bang to prevent the ichale we need to find ways for controlling the mosquitoes ma achale yai penka bang chidara hi ichale. Firstly, in order to eliminate mosquitoes or the vectors, we need to control their breeding place. Breeding place of vectors should be eliminated or controlled. Chiale here a breeding place pen mosquitoes their breeding place pen I bangchidana control the bangchidana eliminate the chiale. First step is by avoiding stagnations. By avoiding stagnations of water in and around the house. I tui ki ching khom na te ma I in kya nga nala khong tia tui ki not khong I lo le amun dam kwak lap khong a tui ki not te hai te pen kha I atui te pen kha remove them all because vectors mosquitoes they breed in water tui om na tia I ki ki reproduce so ahi zaga tui ki chim na te pen kha I remove them a bangchida na remove the chiale by kerosene khong le buak leu chen ma hai te kha a eggs te pen kha mosquito eggs te pen kha sidion chen they will not be able to reproduce. So that is the first step. The second step is regular cleaning of we should clean the house cooler. Regular cleaning of house whole coolers. Hey coolers pen chu e lama ki hazat ke ai le vai gam khonga Delhi khonga gam sat namuna mo coolers ki hazat ma engine vai coolers te pen kha anwaya tui ki ko ebe cha Ashwi pen hai jidan de sima engine ha fenom de ma ha tui pen ha asunga tu yom di hey te pen kha I ni teng phang I lo le kha kal tengai I khengzel I ha sang zel lo ale I tui te pen kha mosquitoes te hon ki reproduce the engine. So in order to prevent that we should regularly clean the water in the coolers. That is the second step. Third step we can use of mosquitoes net. One way we can control the disease. Next is why bana mosquitoes net by using anti-mosquitoes lotions or the most why bana pons in a pons ne bang yale to nga homa why the na pons bang yale we should upon sunga nga Gambrosia kichi nga chi khatma ya Gambrosia nga species hai de pen kha they should be put in the ponds bangzaka chiale ya nga te pen kha they will eat up the mosquitoes larva. This is transmitted through vectors. Vectors is transmitting agents which transmits the disease from one person to another person. First is malaria. Example is malaria, and filariasis. Malaria and filariasis, they are transmitted through female mosquitoes. Malaria species penka Anopheles. Filariasis penka Kivulex. Haiti penka bangchidana control the ichiale by eliminating their breeding place. How can we eliminate or how can we control the breeding place of mosquitoes ichiale? By avoiding stagnations of water. We should treat with some chemicals or we should regular cleaning of household coolers. Coolers they in the coolers clean use of mosquitoes nets and use of anti-mosquitoes lotions like Odomos and ponds name ponds fish chikat fish Gambusia they will eat up the mosquito larva. Preventions of disease transmitted through vectors. Continue malaria, filariasis, it is caused through vectors. Prevent discuss in stagnations of waters. They are removed or it should be treated with chemicals. We talk about using mosquitoes net. Again, next by spraying of insecticides. Insecticides is the chemicals that can kill insects. I sprayed in the drainage areas. Nala the chest aquak lakatu navel lakte khonga spray dimo so that the larvae of the mosquitoes will not hatch. And next, doors and windows should be provided with wire mesh to prevent the entry of mosquitoes. Kongkhak te pen kha window kongkhak chi te pen kha they should be provided with wire mesh. Hai te pen kha I wire dan de cha niwa cha ki banga hai te pen kha doors te lo le windows te ko idemo so that this will prevent entry of mosquitoes. It not only prevent malaria and filariasis, it also prevent disease like dengue. Common mama, prevent. Due to the advancements in biological science, vaccines and immunizations programs are introduced. Science ki advance engine why due to that vaccines te hong why bala immunizations te hong ki introduce tamo hey te ki introduce ale to many diseases are being controlled. Example ala talen smallpox ichi kha hey na la bin kha I ni danga ki thanga ya hi dile tua kha ki eradicate tamo omnon lo with the helps of vaccines and immunizations. Many other infectious diseases, smallpox te pen kha they are infectious diseases. Other infectious diseases like polio chi wai mana, diphtheria, pneumonia chi with the helps of vaccine and immunizations tetanus with the helps of vaccines and immunizations this has been controlled to a large extent by using different kinds of vaccines control tani dangai sanga polio chi diphtheria, pneumonia, tetanus chi discovery of antibiotics medicines, drugs discovered they help in effective treatments of different types of infectious disease.